Let's do it. Ain't Got It Yet podcast, episode 90. Episode 90, man. That's a big deal for me, man. Episode 90. I'm Michael Flicks. I got my dog, my guy. I appreciate you sliding on me, guy. My guy, Trevor Owens.
Love.
Absolutely. Absolutely, man. How you living, bro?
Man, I'm good. Blessed. Chilling. Another day. You know what I mean? Can't complain.
I heard it. Yeah, I'm happy, man. I've had a good week. I've had a good last couple weeks, actually, even though with the hiccup on the podcast the last couple weeks. I've been doing good, man. I've been doing good. I can't lie. I didn't even speak about my Father's Day last podcast. I had a good Father's Day. Real relaxing time. Yeah, it was good. It was good. Yeah, for sure. You know what's crazy? And I wanted to talk about this last week, but I'm glad I didn't. So now I got somebody to talk about it too, or with. I didn't see my kids at all on Father's Day.
On the actual day or the entire weekend?
I saw them Friday night when they left with their mom.
Oh yeah, it's not the same.
It's not. And and how it just coincidentally how it worked out. So I mean, everybody knows I'm divorced and I got my kids full time. Just how and my kids alternate weekends with me and their mom. Just how the weekends worked out this year. Mother's Day wasn't her weekend and Father's Day wasn't my weekend. And neither one of us, like, she's not big on holidays like that anyway. Right. But I mean, she celebrates them. She's just not like, I gotta do this and I gotta do that.
She's not gonna mess up the rotation over it, or not mess up, but do a switch.
If she wanted to, I would have, but she just wasn't. She wasn't pressed for it. And then so Father's Day come around, and I didn't have my kids with me on Father's Day, and I don't feel no ways about it. It was a couple of my friends and family that are close to me, and they know like how much I deal with being a full-time father. Right. And so when they hit me on Mother's Day, it was like, she ain't got the kids. And I'm like, nah, well, she did something with them Friday and Saturday, and it's her weekend and like half her time. So I'm like, I'm letting them have. I'm not tripping. I love being with my kids. I'm not tripping. Right. And then so when Father's Day came around, it was like, nigga, I'm with these niggas 24/7. It's my weekend off. I'm gonna enjoy my weekend off. You know what I mean?
I was just gonna say, it was probably a nod to you, like subconsciously just being like, oh, well, I have them all the time. You know what I mean? I'm a father every day. Don't necessarily need to be celebrated or have them this way. It's just any other day, because you have them full time. Maybe a little bit. But that's cool.
I was thinking about that. I was
related, actually.
I appreciate it. Appreciate it, fam. I felt a little like I knew I wasn't going to be with them all day, but I planned to, because I live in Escondido. When they're with their mom, she lives in Southeast. And so, they were in Southeast. And I planned to go down on Sunday, like during the afternoon, and just like hang out with them, maybe take them to the park or to the beach or something. But I just didn't get around to it. And I wasn't pressed to go and do it. I was like, I know I'm a good dad. Not being with them today don't make me feel like I'm not a good dad. No. I ain't gonna lie, a little bit of it at first was like, I'm supposed to be with my kids today. And I was like, no, it's Father's Day and I'm the father. I can spend this day how I want. And I want to get some rest. So nigga, I'm gonna get some rest.
100%.
Yeah. I had a friend take me to a couple friends take me to I forget which hotel, but the one in Torrey Pines right off the golf course.
I'm not familiar.
I think it might have been a Hilton. I'm not sure. But it was fly, though. Got a day pass, hit the pool, the jacuzzi, got some drinks, got some food. It was smooth. I had a real good time. I had a good time on Father's Day. Yeah, and other than Father's Day, that was a couple weeks ago. But I've been doing good, man. I've been doing good. I can't lie.
I see you glowing. You got the aura.
Trying to, man. The Switch program just started. So,
Right. I did see that. That's good. Who's playing it? Who's some of the names?
Oh, man.
I know there's hella, but like who's some of the, just... Because, I'm kind of familiar with it.
Billy White, he's a professional basketball player. He played at San Diego State. Devin Watson, he played at San Diego State as well.
Oh, he's playing nice.
I'm blanking on Wayne McKinney. I want to do that because I got so many bros, so many homies that play. You know what I'm saying? They'll be like, oh, you didn't shout me out. But anybody that has played, I almost said something I would have regretted. And most of the people that have played college and damn near all of the people that have played professionally from San Diego are playing in the Switch program. So if you know anybody that's played on a high level and you want to check them out, you'll be able to see them this summer.
Nice. Yeah, go check Switch program out for sure.
Yeah, so what you going to work and going to the gym? I was speaking last week, man. I've been trying to work hard about, like, you know what I'm saying, eating consistently, doing my meal prepping.
Critical.
Meal prep Sunday, man. Meal prep Sunday. They've been keeping me right, man. I can't lie.
I've heard of them.
Yeah?
I've heard of them. I heard they're legit.
Yeah? How you hear about them?
Instagram. I've seen an Instagram ad and I seen some homies that follow them. So I hit them up. I was like, you fuck with this? Because honestly, I be lazy. Not lazy, but cooking is like always just like, I don't want to do this on Sunday. I got to get it done. It's critical, so I do it. But I hit them up. I was like, you follow them? You ever order for them? They're like, yeah, they're legit. Facts, legit. Bomb too.
And they are legit. Meal prep Sunday. I spoke about them last week. Meal prep Sunday, bro. Listen. everybody's been trying to meal prep now, like as far as like their fitness and doing everything right. And if you do it at home, that's flawed. You know, I've been good, man. Just working hard, trying to stay out the way. Probably finna buy a car in a few weeks, hopefully.
Oh, nice.
I can't complain.
Yeah.
I can't complain, man. I'm doing good. What's new with you though, fam?
Man,
I don't think. But before I'm sorry to cut you off. I don't think my audience. I'm sure if they follow you, they've seen what you've been doing. But my audience, you ain't been on the show in probably like a year and a half, maybe 2 years now, man. So
it's been a minute.
What you been on, bro? I think you might have been in school at the time.
Yeah, that would make sense. Or maybe it might have been closer to 3 years then. I think damn near, probably 3 years.
Probably 2.
Closer to 3. 2 and some change.
Yeah, 2 and some change. 2 and some change. Let's do it like that.
Yeah, man, I'm just chilling. Really same shit, different toilet, bro. Just working, go to the gym, kick it with my homeboys a little bit. Nothing too flashy, too crazy. Just chilling, just trying to, take it a day at a time, run my marathon.
I heard it. All done with school?
Mm-hmm.
What you got the degree in?
And CIS, so computer information systems.
That's what's up. My guy making the big bucks. That's what's up.
All right, too. Yeah, I work kind of close here. I work in Little Italy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
How you like that?
It's cool. It's nice. It's cool kind of being in the mix and then going back to Escondido where it's kind of more quieter and more like chill. I don't know if I'll be able to do city life. I don't know if I'll be able to ever move into a place similar to like downtown or Little Italy. But it's cool to go work at. And I'm hybrid, so I don't have to go every single day.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's smooth.
Yeah, so it's cool.
That's what I tell people too. I'm originally, everybody knows, I'm originally from Long Beach, but since we left Long Beach and we moved to Southeast San Diego, and after that we moved to Escondido. So I'm from Southeast. That's how I feel. But I'm saying that to say, like, when I first moved to Escondido, I hated it.
Yeah.
And I didn't grow an appreciation for Escondido until 2009 when I left. When I left and then came back and was like, you know what? I appreciate that I've got roots here and that I've done a little bit of growing up here and that like this is where I come back. This is where my parents live and this is where I come back to for home. I like how slow paced it is. I like how quiet it is. I like how chill it is. And just like you said, I like being able to go downtown and be like in the action and part of the energy and being able to get completely removed from it and go to Escondido and be completely out the way.
Yeah, it just be too much downtown sometimes and
most times.
a lot of times. It just be too much and motherfuckers just be doing the mostest and just I don't groove with it. I don't it's not my frequency. But it's cool to go, like I said, to go for a little bit, kick it, chop it up with some people. It's people, what I've learned as I got older, it's people in life that are meant for you to chop it up for a few hours and then that's it. You know what I mean? You don't need to be around them 24/7 because that's just not really who you need to be around for hella. And it's not like you giving them, when you do, I don't want people to take it out of context. When you do be talking to them, it's not like it's fake or like, you're giving them energy you shouldn't be. Nah, it's just that this is where we kick it at. We talk for the few hours that we're here and it's good.
And we leave it right here. Exactly.
It's all love though. It's nothing to get pressed about, but it's just, I don't need it, forever. So it's cool. I like it. Like when I seen you in Murder, we was teed up. You know what I mean? It was people in there that I'll probably never talk to again, but when we was there, it was good vibes. It was all love. It was respect. You know what I mean? But that's not my life. I like to get back to home and kick it, authentic.
At this point in my life, I'd say it's probably fair to say most of my relationships are that way. It's not to say that I don't really like rock with the people that I rock with when I see them, right. But it's just like we ain't built that outside of where we met.
Right.
If we do, that's cool.
Yeah.
If we do, that's cool. Like my guy Sean Chris. In fact, I'm glad I brought him up. Like my guy Sean Christopher. He's used to host Neo Soul Tuesday. He's a part of Soul Sunday. I met him like through an interview. Like interviewing him and my guy Evan. They do sessions at the shop. It's a live music event that they do. Nice. So I met them like through an interview and then got more connected with him at Neo Soul Tuesday, and they had him on the show. But just like I'm saying that to say like I met him outside and he was like just an outside for like a real cool dude, right. But he was an outside friend. Definitely. But since like bringing him on the show, he was on my wine show and just like the conversations we've had, like hanging out outside of the pod, like now I consider Sean an actual friend.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Those good. But it takes that though. It ain't right. Like we can't just hang out downtown and that's how we know each other and that's the only time we hang out and I consider you a friend. I can't say that.
Cause I gotta see the real you. Cause the downtown version of people do not be their real self.
At all.
And I had to learn that the hard way. And that's why I kind of programmed the way I am now. I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, you definitely don't bathe twice a day. Or twice a week, damn near. You know what I mean? Like, it's just not. We don't need to be doing this. It's all good. But yeah, that's cool. That's good. That's good.
Glad I thought to mention my guy Sean. I was trying to think of some of the stuff I did over this. I ain't gonna lie, I was stalling trying to think of what I did over the weekend. My guy Sean, Chris, and his girl Tasha, they got married over the weekend, man. They got married on Saturday in the park. It was real fly, man. So shout out to y'all. Shout out to the newlyweds, man. It was dope. I don't know if I'm going against anything here, but he told me a month ago at Soul Sunday that he was going to, so he does, like him and his girl, they do something called like grown up recess, where they just have like a bunch of adults outside playing dodgeball, volleyball, capture the flag. It's dope. It's fly. They do it at different parks. Okay. So this weekend was their second time doing it, and it was his birthday. It was for his 43rd birthday, if I'm not mistaken. I've been telling him, like, because, I do the kickball game for my birthday, right. So I'm like, that's right up my alley, you know what I mean? So I'm like, yeah, I'm a slide, and I was telling him in the DMs, like, yeah, I'm gonna pull up, bro, I'm gonna be there. Like, if it's my weekend with the kids, I'm bringing my kids, but I'm gonna be there, bro. And then I bumped into him and his girl at Soul Sunday, and I was telling him, I was like, yeah, that grown up recess, bro, I can't wait. Like, June 21st, I'm gonna be there, bro, I'm gonna slide. He's like, no, I told him about something else. And he's like, nah, but the grown up recess though for my birthday. I was like, I'm gonna be there, bro. Kind of looked over his shoulder and like pulled me to the side. He was like, I'm gonna propose to it, bro. I was like, oh, that's smooth. Okay. And I ain't gonna lie, I got hyped. I was like, let me calm down. I feel like I'm giving away the secret. Let me calm down. And then so I almost didn't make it on Saturday. Like I said, I'm about to buy a car. I don't have my own car right now. And I was like, I'm gonna have to spend money on an Uber because it was all the way in Chula Vista and I'm in Esco. So I'm like, that's a trek. So I'm like, luckily I got my hands on a vehicle. Shout out to my parents, and me and my youngest son went out there. But this is how they did it though. So he told me he was gonna propose. So when I get there, they're playing like a musical chairs type of game, and then we played like a hula hoop relay race type of game. And then they're like, okay, we finna go to the tables and sing happy birthday to Sean. So we go over there, we have a prayer, we sing happy birthday, and then Sean goes to the bathroom. And his girl is like, okay, we're gonna go back to the grass now. You guys feel free to bring your blankets and your chairs and everything. And we're gonna go play this trivia game. It's Sean's favorite game in the world. So if you planned on leaving, just come and play this trivia game first, and then you can leave after the trivia game. Right. And the way she's like adamant about people staying for the trivia game, I'm like, she must not, like, does she know something?
She knows something, right?
And I'm like, but like how he pulled me to the side, it's supposed to be a surprise, so she can't. There's no way she knows. Mm-hmm. I'm like, all right, I'm let me mind my business. I go to me and take my son, we go to the grass, we sitting there. And it was fly how they did it. It was so fly how they did it. So she's like, yeah, this trivia game, everybody needs a card. So she calls up two girls to like pass out these cards. So like the girls are going around passing out the cards. And then she goes, yeah, me and Sean are going to pick our teams now. And he's like, yeah, go ahead, Sean, pick your team. And he like picks three and waiting for her to pick some. She's like, nah, pick your whole team. And he picks like 6 or 7 people. And they all come up and they all got on black. And I'm like, I peeped that right away that everybody has on black. I'm like, oh, this is his favorite game. Like he got it rigged. He got his team picked already. Like he know who he want on his team. And she like, oh, since he got all his guys, I'm gonna pick all my girls then. Okay. And then she started picking girls and all the girls got on all black. And like I said, he already told me he gonna propose. Right. And so I'm like, I'm looking at both sides. I'm like, oh, these niggas about to get married right now. They about to do it right now.
Right.
And sure enough, the guys and the girls, they huddle up, and then everybody turns around. All the guys got on a sash that says Team Groom. All the girls got on a sash that says Team Bride, and they got married right there in the park. It was fly, bro. Damn. It was so fly,
That's
bro.
Creative.
It was really dope, bro. It was really dope. And I spoke to him afterwards. I was like, how you feeling, bro? He's like, I'm a little nervous, and I can't lie. I mean, I know I just got married, but I'm still nervous, bro. I was like, yeah, it'd be like that. I mean, granted, I'm not married no more, but I did it once, and I was still married afterwards. Right. But I was like, yeah, bro, that was dope. That was dope. That was real dope how they did it, man. That was really, really dope. I commend them, bro, because especially in this time when it's like, the way the economy is, the way money is, it's like, and I've been telling people for a long time now, like you could spend your money on the wedding, or you could spend your money on a trip, or like buy a house, or like, right. You know what I mean? So and that's what he was like. Yeah, he was like, yeah, bro, we didn't want to go crazy. We just wanted all our loved ones around, and we just wanted to get married and keep it simple, bro. It was fly, bro. It was fly.
And that's what it's all about. At the end of the day. Obviously, I've never been married, but I can only imagine it boils down to just being around, surrounded by your loved ones, you know what I mean? And at the end of the day, you marry the one you love, and that's that, you know what I mean? And that's creative. That's cool that they got creative with it and didn't just do like, oh, we're getting married and just boom, right there. So that's cool. Congrats to them.
Yeah, it was super dope. My guy, Sean, only nigga I know get married in a sombrero. You fly for that, bro.
A sombrero is hella fly.
Those bros like your PE coach got on when it's hot outside. Nigga had one. It was fly though. It had like the.
Did he have like the sunscreen on his nose?
Nah, he did. Nah, he didn't. It was fly. It was dope, and it was dope. She has 4 daughters, so I did like a little like thing like to honor her daughters, and like gave them like not a promise ring, but just like a ring on a necklace. And it was real dope. It was real dope. It was real fly. It was real fly. I don't know if I'll ever get married again, but if I do, I want it to be like dope but simple like that.
Right. Meaningful. You want to be meaningful.
Right. You think you'll ever get married?
Maybe. It's definitely not in the plans right now or anytime soon, but it would be nice to get married. I think that if I get to that point where I know I want to spend the rest of my life with somebody, but it's rough in San Diego.
I feel it.
I ain't gonna start.
Nah, it's cool. It's cool. And I've seen a lot of. Honestly, I'll tell you this though. I've been blessed to see beautiful marriages in my life. You know what I mean? My sister, my uncle and aunt. You know what I mean? I got a cousin that is in a beautiful marriage. My parents, you know how it is. But despite everything, like I think it's even more beautiful that they were able to get over so many obstacles and shit. You know what I mean? So I've been blessed to see it. So I know I'm not jaded to where I'm like, oh, like it's not real. That doesn't exist. A lot of people have that kind of like notion, but I don't know if it's for me. We'll see. Only time can tell. I'm not gonna lie. I definitely don't want kids.
You don't want kids?
And I say that kind of definitive, but like, I really don't. I'm not gonna lie, this is gonna sound crazy, but I do not like them. They get on my fucking nerves. Like, I'll be with them and I'm just like, why the fuck would you do that? Like, and I got nieces and nephews and I love them to death. But I love
That's what makes it even funnier.
But I love even, like,
You know how I am with them. I'm like,
like super close with them. But I love even more that I'm able to just be like, there you go, take them back, get them the fuck out of here because, man, I just like, and I know they're kids, obviously, and I know that. And so, like, in person, let me retract a little bit. In person, I'm not, like, rude or anything, but, like, talking to you, I'm going to tell you, I'd be like, why the fuck would you do that?
Yeah, this in your own head.
Like, are you dumb? Like, but obviously, I would never say that to them, like, you know, and I would never act like that or even show that. I would, you know, fix whatever happened. But in my head, I'm like, ugh, fuck no, I can't do it.
I feel it. I have the same questions too, and I've worked in childcare for 15 years before ever having kids.
right.
And then, of course, he did. And then so now to have, and then I was like trained, and my ex reminds me of that all the time. She's like, "You're the one that's trained to do this," so you know what I mean. But just like having a 15-year background in childcare, and then now being a parent for 9 years, I still have times when I look at my kids like, bro, what made that pop into your brain? Like, why would you do that?
Just doing shit to do it, like.
And then you got to remind yourself, like, my nigga's only 5. That's why he did.
Right.
And that's what saves the day. Not save the day every time, but that's what, you know, gets me like, okay, it's whatever, because they're kids. And I was doing the same dumbass shit when I was a kid, for probably worse. So I get it. That's only one side of the coin. The other side is like, I feel like there's so much of the world I haven't seen. And I'm not going to say a kid is like kind of hinders you from doing that, but it definitely makes it a little bit more tough to just like go somewhere for like 2 weeks, you know what I mean? And just not worry about your kid, you know what I mean? And you know what I mean? And then if you want to do that a few times a year, you definitely, like, that's not really too realistic. It might be, but
it really, I mean, it's not, I was about to say not, you know, respectfully, but you know, you got a good job. You're making good money. I've always felt this way, maybe just like maybe on a smaller scale. My guy, you remember Jotham? Mm-hmm. He's,
Jotham, that's my guy.
I remember talking about it one time. I think it was right after Jotham got married. It was right after he got married or after he had his first kid, I'm not sure. But he was talking, like, it was me, him, and my older brother, Steph. We were talking about, like, just doing things and, like, having the freedom to do things and, like, with or without kids. And Steph was like, yeah, I want to be able to, bro, if I want to just get up and, like, go to Italy, I want to be able to just get up and go to Italy. And Jotham was like, I can go to Italy, too. I just got to take them with me.
Right.
And that bro, that was so fly to me, bro.
Yeah.
That was so, I was like thinking that, and like, but I was thinking like, yeah, you got to figure it out. You can still take them, but you just got to figure it out. But him, it was like, ain't no figuring it out. This is your clan. So if you going, nigga, they coming.
Right.
He's like, I can still go. I just got to take them with me.
Yeah.
And maybe to me it was a little bit more fly because I know how much money he makes, and it's nothing to him if he want to take a trip to take his whole family. But I was like, that, yeah, exactly. If you got kids, like it just.
But sometimes you don't want to take them.
Right, that's true. Or then just don't.
And that's the thing. Like I do not like. Okay, bro. Next month, 23rd, I leave to Costa Rica. Right. I cannot imagine taking a kid with the plans I got set with my homeboy. I cannot even like fathom the thought of having kids with me, bro. But maybe that just shows that I'm not ready. And that's all it is. You know, it is what it is. But I get you though. Yeah, you definitely, just take them. That'd be cool.
No, I mean, I hear you. It was, this was a few years back. I don't want to make it like a big thing like that. It's a few years back, but it was a girl, I almost said her name right now. It was a girl that I was talking to. She made good money, make real good money. She's doing very well for herself. But it wasn't even like me and her wasn't even like really talking like that. Like we wasn't even like building or talking like that. But we was like, we had just met each other. We was talking about like what we might be able to do. And at the time, I think my kids were like 7 and 3 or 4. I don't know. But I told her like how old my kids were. And she was like, oh, nah. I was like, what you mean? She was like, nah, you handsome and you cool and you fly and everything. But she was like, you got babies. She was like, my kids is grown. She was like, if I want to be able to get up and go to France tomorrow, then I'm booking a ticket and I'm going to France tomorrow.
Right.
I was like, I could go to France tomorrow too. I just got to like find out figure out a babysitter. She's like, but if you can't figure out a babysitter, then you got to stay.
Right.
I'm not thinking about none of that. If I want to get on a plane.
She kind of sat you down and you was like,
She hella did. I was like, nah, you absolutely right, shorty. Yeah. Me and you would never work.
Right. Shit.
it is what it is. It is what it is. But then again, like, if you don't have kids, on the flip side, if you never have kids, then you never experience all the proud moments as a parent. You know what I mean? And those are moments that if you don't know, you don't know. You know what I mean? And so I already know that there's a lot of good that comes with it too. You got a built-in best friend forever. So, it's pros and cons to everything, right? And right now, both of those situations, marriage and a kid. I don't know. I'm chilling right now.
Like I said, I want to take a trip if I want to.
Man.
You know what? Hey, Speaking of that, it's a question I wanted to ask. On the topic of taking a trip. Let's say you want to cruise, right?
Okay.
You want to cruise, and a loved one, like a family member, passes away.
Damn, that took a turn.
Morbid. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. It did take a turn.
Okay.
I'm sorry, but we're here now.
We're there on the cruise already in the middle of the fucking Pacific.
You like it's a 15-day cruise. You on day 7.
Jesus. Okay.
You on day 7.
Okay.
Right. And
I done already cracked a couple. No, I'm just
live your life. And a family member passes away. Do you want to get that news that day or while you're on the cruise, or do you want them to wait till you get home?
Man, I'll preface this. I'm like the worst person to ask this question to.
Okay.
Just because like I'm like a real realistic type of person. I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't care. I would rather get it then and there, I'd say, because the way I process things. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, does it depend on who it is?
Maybe there's probably like only 2 or 3 people, my mom, my sister, my dad, that I would like probably be like, okay, actually I don't want to know that. But if it was like my favorite aunt or uncle, like I'd be like, damn, like that's God called them home, whatever. But I process things different, you know what I mean? So it wouldn't even matter if I was, at on the cruise or if I was, home or whatever. It takes me like I'm kind of like weird. It takes me a long time to like process things because I try so hard to kind of just like, okay, like, let's get through this and get over it. You know what I mean? And then we'll figure it out. We'll grieve. Like that's just.
I feel like your beard is hitting.
Okay.
Clip it right here.
Good looking, man.
Yep.
So yeah, I kind of just get like I just like to go through the things and then we'll do it. Like when my grandma died, it was like sad. Obviously, I went and seen her like dead in her bed or whatever. Not to be too like deep, but she passed away in her home. We all went and said our goodbyes. Everybody was crying. Even then, like I wasn't, super like obviously like I was sad, but I wasn't like I was still processing it. And then it wasn't until after her funeral, which was like a month later, that I actually started like grieving. Like, oh damn, like I'm kind of weird. I don't know how to do that. I could just get through the tough part, just thug it through, and then we'll figure it out later. So. I don't think it would matter where I was at. I would just be like, I'll go get loaded for sure.
That's interesting for you to be like, and maybe it doesn't play so much of a factor like in your life and the way you process things, but just I attribute the way people like live life and the way they handle things. I attribute a lot of that to their, I don't want to say rank, but like where they are in the like the sibling order. So like me, I'm real like I don't deal well with death. Like when somebody dies, I'm broken up, I'm crying. I'm gonna be able to deal with like the business end of it and like what we need to do for like their whatever they left behind and how we're gonna handle everything. I need to deal with that a week after the funeral. Like that's not me.
Right.
That's my older brother. Like he's able to compartmentalize and like, okay, everybody's sad. I have to be the one that's not sad so much because business needs to be handled. Right. I'm never gonna be that person.
Okay.
I'm never gonna be that. Bro, my granny died, my cousin TT died, rest in peace, and my granny died, rest in peace. Like anybody close to me that I have any type of like a bond or relationship to, when they pass away, I'm gonna be jacked up. Yeah. I'm not the person 100%. That's like, you know what I mean? Like, and so to that point, it sounds bad, but I was gonna say I would want to know after the trip, because I feel like I would want to enjoy my trip. But also like with that, like what you said, like if it's like your sister, your mom, or your dad, like if it's one of my brothers or my parents, I feel like I would want to know right away. Yeah. But also if I'm on the cruise, what can I do?
Your hands are tired, yeah, and and that's the thing. Yeah, I see that. I can see your point of view for sure. I can see your point of view, but I think I just want to know right then. I don't want to be like blindsided and hit. Like, imagine you had a great time, great trip, made so many memories. You're boarding off the ship, and then like whoever's there to pick you up, or somebody calls you, and then you get hit with that after like a great week. You know, I don't think I would like that. I'd rather just know. And just go through it chronologically, go through it, you know, as it comes. You know what I mean?
And this is a really selfish question to ask, but you wouldn't be like worried about like your trip or like your time being ruined while you're on the cruise, because like I said, there's nothing you could do about it while you're on the cruise.
And I get you, and I really wouldn't, because
there's no wrong answer. There's no wrong answer.
Get you.
Knowing and that's a valid question. Like, that's super valid. Knowing the type of person I am, I always try to see like the silver lining of things and just be like, well, you know what? Fuck it, I'm finna go up for bro. Like, you know, I'm finna go up for the homie, whatever, or my aunt, uncle, whatever, whoever it is. I'm gonna go up for them, you know what I mean? And enjoy this, you know what I mean? Like they would want me to. I'm like, because I think like the people in my life, like how would they want me to proceed? Like, do they want me to just shut down and not have a good time on my trip? Like, no, they probably want me to like have a good time and, you know, accept it, because like, you don't have no choice but to accept it. You know what I mean? And that's not to say you're not gonna be like hard body and just be like, oh, like, duh. Like, no, you're gonna be sad, but you can't do nothing about it. They're gone. Mm-hmm. It is what it is. You know what I mean? So everybody grieves differently, though. You know what I mean? And like you said, there's no right or wrong answer, but everybody just grieves differently. So yeah, I probably want to know there.
I kind of wish I was like a little stronger, like better at grieving. Like I'm not.
I wouldn't say that that's not being strong if you like kind of shut down a little bit, you know what I mean? It's just, it's normal. Like everybody like I said, everybody has their different ways of grieving, and there's pros and cons to each way that somebody grieves. Like, I don't know if the way I grieve is the best way. That's just how I'm wired. It is what it is. Like, maybe I need to go figure out how to fix it, but you know what I mean? Just like the way that maybe you handle your grieving, there's pros and cons to that too. Like, everybody's different, and I think that, you know, as long as you deal with it healthy, like in a healthy way, it is what it is.
I agree. I really feel my feelings, bro. Like I don't run from any of my feelings. I feel like if I feel it in the moment, it's real. Now if I like later after I process it and realize like I probably need to do all of that. But like in the moment, like I don't try to like I need to. And I feel my feelings. Like I got I was trying to find another way to say it, but ain't no other way. At Door's son's funeral.
Right.
I was a mess, bro. Mm-hmm. I was a mess, and I had like so much going on, because I was like, Dor is like one of my closest friends. Like he's my oldest son's godfather.
Right.
And I felt like, and I've spoken about this on the podcast before, I felt like in that moment I wasn't there for him the way I should be, because I'm just not good in those moments.
Yeah.
And even at the funeral, like I'm sitting like I think maybe like 2 or 3 rows behind him. And granted, like he had to be strong, like for his wife and his child that was still here.
Right.
I'm in there like boo-hooing, like, you know, I had the shades on. I'm trying to hide. I got my hat low. I got the shades on, and I'm a mess, bro. To the point where like Corey and Yor behind me, like rubbing my shoulders, like, bro, it's gonna be all right. It's gonna be all right. And I'm looking at Doors just thug through it. And granted, again, he had to be strong for his wife and his kid that was still here. Right. And I'm looking at it like, bro, if this nigga can like like, you know what I'm saying, tough it out. Like, nigga, why I'm so, you know what I mean? But that's just how I'm wired, bro. I'm an emotional guy, and I don't feel no ways about that. Like, I feel my feelings. I'm an emotional guy. I feel my feelings, and that's just how I process stuff.
Yeah. No, I get you. It's like everybody's different, and I don't think anybody should be like, not ashamed, but, you know, feel any type of way about how they feel. No, you have to accept people how they are.
I hear it. You ready for World War III, man?
Oh no, take me to the county. I'll do my little 60 days in the county jail. I'm not fighting for this country. Are you fucking crazy?
I'm happy. A draft ain't a thing no more, but I'm too old to get drafted. I'm happy about that. 36.
I think
my old coach used to be roasting me about my age, but I couldn't get drafted now. Shoot.
I want to say I'm in the clear. I think it's 26.
I think it is. I think you got to be 25.
Yeah, you got to be. Yeah, exactly. So I'm in the clear. I'm good. See, damn, I'm not old now. Fuck. But yeah, no. Yeah, we wouldn't need a draft. I was just talking shit, but I don't know. And I gotta be honest, I'm not super. Honestly, everything about anything surrounding politics, I'm just so fucking drained over right now. I'm not gonna get too political on here, but you can guess what side I stand on, right? So I'm just so done with everything. Like I don't want to look at this motherfucker anymore. I do not like him. I despise him. But to say that, I will say that the two countries involved, right? So Iran, they are allies. I do know this, that their allies are. It's like an unofficial alliance. It's called CRINC, and it's China, Russia, Iran, and North Korea, right? The four countries that are most like opposed to the U.S., right? U.S. world order. So at first I was kind of worried, like, damn, like we just bombed Iran. Their allies are our biggest enemies. Like where is this gonna go? You know what I mean? And then shortly after, they tried to bomb a U.S. military base, and that got intercepted. And then shortly after that, that's when the ceasefire happened, the automatic ceasefire. And so that kind of eased my nerves on like, okay, maybe World War III is not coming. That and China and Russia basically saying like, we're not gonna help you right now. Like we're just not. So that kind of eased my nerves. But if it does come, I mean, I don't know. Like, I just hope that everybody's safe and that, you know, not too many people's lives are taken like it was in World War II or World War I. Some of the most like casualties in a war that we've ever seen. So that's the main thing.
I just can't believe this is even going on right now. But I appreciate that insight. That was information I didn't even know about, some of it. But I can't believe that this is even going on right now. Like, when I was looking at, because it's, you know, we've heard the joke like my whole life. I'm 36. I've heard the jokes my whole life. Like when something happened, like, oh, it started World War III. This is gonna be World War III. And so now, like for it to actually like be like a realistic possibility now,
right?
Is like,
it's scary.
Yeah,
it's scary. Fuck that. It's scary.
Like I'm seeing stuff, and maybe it's not that serious. But I'm seeing stuff on my timeline, like people like telling like, oh, if a nuclear blast happens, like this is the protocol. Step 1 is this. Step 2 is this. Step 3 is that. I'm like, is this really where we at?
The fact that they're even like training people on that, like, yeah, it is kind of scary. It's alarming, but man, I don't know. What can like? I hate to say it, but it's like, what can you do? Like, we're being like just being realistic. Like, what can you do? Like, we can start by not electing a fucking Nimrod, but we got this dude in here that, you know, and right now, and I hate to say it, but right now it looks good. Right now it looks like what we did worked. And so that's why I'm like, I don't want to say too much, because it looks like what we did worked. You know what I mean? A total ceasefire between Israel and Iran is right now in the making. Although, so he said they have 12 hours to cease fire completely, and Israel went and like, it's like when the DJ say you got 20 minutes left in the club and you just grab whatever. You know, you grab the linebacker or whoever, right? That's literally what Israel did. They went and like, he said you got 12 hours. In the first hour of like, this is the time where you're supposed to like slow things down and everybody go the fuck back home. In the first hour, Israel went and dropped like 10 fucking bombs on Iran. It's like, but anyway, so they're doing a ceasefire. The 12 hours is up. They're good now. It's done. So it looks like it worked, but you never know. They could, I don't think that those 4 nations would want to start one. I see why, but I don't think anybody really wants a fucking world war to happen. You know what I mean? I think they're trying to do everything they can to avoid that, but you never know. It's so much shit probably going behind the scenes we don't know about. You know what I mean? And that's that. But let me see, how do I word this? Like, I'm not trying to get too political in here, but to go on like another route, I really think that they did this. Like, okay, we've been telling Iran to get rid of all like nuclear sites. Like, they've been trying to, like, U.S. been trying to bully them because, for obvious reasons. And so I think that it makes sense why we did it, I guess, kind of. But I think that the main reason why he did it is because everything else going on in America, right? In America, in our home soil, you got all these protests going on everywhere. Protests were everywhere, right? You had the No Kings protests everywhere. There was so many just in California. They were all over the state. One of the biggest ones was right here in our backyard. Mm-hmm. They were all over the state. You got the economic place that we're in right now within our economic, system. All these other things that are happening in America, and I felt like it was just kind of like a distraction, or like to deter you from realizing what's going on here in your home soil and worrying about something going on in Iran, which could have a direct effect here. But I think that I really do. I think that it was like all propaganda, like distraction. Like, oh, like, don't worry about what's going on here, all the bullshit happening here. Look at what's happening in Iran. Be scared. Put fear. We're gonna put fear in people's hearts, so that they're so worried about a World War III.
My mom was saying the same thing about George W. Bush.
Right.
My mom was saying the same thing.
Yeah, and that's literally, I've seen so many things. That's so funny you bring that up. I've seen so many things about them saying like, this fool's just doing a poor man's George W. Bush job right now. Mm-hmm. So I don't know, bruh. This is what I be telling everybody. I'm like, man, you got to protect your village, do what's best for your village, grind for your village, and just, you know what I mean, make sure that they're straight. You know what I mean? That's all you can do. If you get took out, it is what it is. Like, I mean, shit, you tried your best. What the fuck can you do? Like, honestly, like, just being...
That's real, yeah.
What can you do? Like, I mean, at least we all go out. I don't know. Like, that's all you can do, literally. But how do you feel about it? You're not fighting, right? We got that?
Yeah, definitely not. Okay. Definitely, I'm too old. My knees is too weak, and I got asthma, heart problems. Y'all don't want me. Y'all don't want me. I don't like our country being at war. Unless we have to, and it don't feel like we need to. Like, I don't like it. It just, like, more money's being spent, which makes everything more expensive here in our country. Like, and then also I look at it from this perspective too, which is a perspective that I never really considered. Because like when you a kid and you think of war, like, and for me anyway, I won't speak for everybody else, but for me, like as a kid, and I think about war, I think of like, you don't like. And again, I'm only speaking for me. Like I as a kid, when you think about war, I didn't think about the humans across the water as humans like that.
Right.
It was just like, it's just people, and people over there don't like us. They're a threat to us because that's what they told me on TV. So they gotta die. And that's I believed in it, and I rock with it, and it was like, whatever it's gonna take to keep us safe here, I'm down with that. But as you get older, and it's just like, it's people over there.
It's like you, they got a family.
People over there, bruh. And I've thought that way, I want to say for a good, probably since I've had kids, honestly. So for 9 years, probably since I've had kids. But just like more specifically, I was watching an interview about maybe a year and a half, maybe 2 years ago. The dude, I forget his name, but the dude that actually, it was a whole team that went over there to go like capture and or kill bin Laden. Mm-hmm. But the dude that actually shot the bullet that killed him, he's done a bunch of interviews. And he was talking about how, he was like, yeah, we were over there, I think it was Iraq. Forgive me if I got the wrong country or the wrong place. But he was like, yeah, we're in Iraq. He was like, I've killed a bunch of people. He was like, and there was one dude, he was like, there was one guy, I shot his brother. And there was a big commotion in that room. And while the commotion was going on, I came in through another window and killed this man in front of his wife and kid. He's like, and I was just doing my job. I didn't feel nothing at the time. Like, right. He said, but after I went home, I was thinking like that was a man with a family. He was like, what if I met him in France over a cup of coffee? Would me and him have been cool?
Right.
Would I have liked him? Would I have wanted to like go play catch and like hang out with him? He's like, that was another human being. Like, granted, he was like, and I didn't kill him because of anything he did to me or any feelings he made me have. I went over there and killed him because George W. Bush said I was supposed to, because a politician told me I was supposed to. Mm. He was like, I deal with that every night when I go to sleep. Yeah. He was like, I killed a man that had a. He said, bro, I killed him in front of his kid. And I was thinking, like, not really so that deep, like, but I was thinking about like these people over there, like just like we Americans over here and we feel away about people over there, they over there and they feel away about Americans. Yeah. And then Americans show up and kill them. And again, whatever our government has to do to keep us safe and protect our freedoms here, I want to say I'm with all of it because it keeps me safe. But I do think about that part of it, though. Yeah. I do think about that part of it.
Yeah, and that's the caveat. It's like, well, damn, it's at that point, like war, right? It's kill or be killed, right? So, you know what I mean? I get it. Like, the people in higher powers are doing what they have to do to keep the country safe. But is this really, like, I don't know. Do some of the things that we do to other countries is it really in our benefit? Like, is that country really going to come and get us? Like, maybe not. I don't know. It's a tough situation. Mm-hmm. It's a catch-22.
I feel it. Would you this is gonna tie into what we're talking about right now.
Oh Lord.
In a small
way. Lord.
Would you jump in an Uber or Lyft that had no driver? If you called an Uber or Lyft and you go outside, you waiting for your ride, and the ride pulls up.
Is this before or after the club? After, I'd be like, oh, this shit is crazy. I mean, let's get this motherfucking man.
Let's say you sober. Let's say on your way downtown. You call an Uber, you go outside, wait on the sidewalk for it, you pull up, and there's no person in the car, but the car,
isn't that crazy?
A Tesla pulls up, and it's just a sign on the window that says, ride for Trevor to downtown.
Man.
Would you like that? Would you think that's fly, or would you be like, oh?
I would definitely be like, wow, this is nuts. I can't believe we're living in this time, but yeah, I probably would, damn near. I've seen people get, not in the Teslas, but the other ones they got like around, I don't know if they have them in San Diego, but they got them in Arizona for sure.
I say that, let me read it officially. I say that because Elon Musk announces, hold that up too high. Elon Musk announces Tesla robotaxi launching in Texas today, actually, or it might have been yesterday. Rides will cost a flat fee of $4.20.
Robot taxi, huh? Yeah, I mean, oh wait, you said Elon? No, I'm just kidding.
To that point, I love seeing the Teslas that got the bumper sticker on the back that say, I bought this car before I knew Elon was crazy.
Yes, I've seen that. Well, because people are like, okay, no matter how much you feel about this person or other, like destroying somebody's car because of who made it, like that's lame. I'm sorry. That's lame. Like they said, like they could have bought that shit 4 or 5 years ago. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Before all
this isn't Elon's car. Like this is a working family that,
That shit's corny as hell.
I agree. I agree.
But yeah, I would get in it. To be honest. Especially if I seen it drive up. You know what I mean? But that's another thing though. I stay in Escondido, so it's like we gotta hop on the freeway. So how's that gonna be driving on the freeway? That's many.
Yeah.
It's a risk, but nah, I wouldn't take it to downtown. No? I would take it down the street though. I would take it if it was in town or something. Let me be for real. I wouldn't take it downtown. Not yet. I gotta see that motherfucker be active for, some years. Yeah. And have a very low accident rate.
I was about to say, for me, like off like the beta system, like the fresh batch. Nah, I'm cool.
Right. I'm not about to be your guinea pig.
Yeah. Give me a Lyft or Uber that got a driver. But after it's been like in existence for maybe a year and a half, 2 years, and I know it's safe and I know it's cool, I'd probably do it.
So and
I still wouldn't do it by myself. I'd hop in there with a homie or something. Like I wouldn't go dolo.
Find out you die. Wait, they're Teslas, you said?
Yeah, they're Teslas. I mean, it's got to be a car that could drive itself.
See, if it was like a Cybertruck, I feel more comfortable. I feel more safe.
Why?
Because they just, I don't know. They look more like they can't be touched. They look like, if I'm in a Cybertruck, I feel like if I crash, I have a better chance of surviving than a small-ass Tesla.
Unless it catches on fire, because that's what happened to it.
Like Gilbert Arenas said?
Exactly.
Whatever happened with that? Did they even figure out what happened?
Yeah, so I don't know exactly what happened, but he was driving a Cybertruck, and the story that Gilbert Arenas tells is that the computer malfunctioned or something happened, and the car just took a hard left and crashed into a tree. And Gilbert Arenas' son, he's a D1 athlete. Like he said he was crazy. He gonna be an all-star. Gilbert Arenas, the story that he tells, he said his son was like, Dad, like I was like trying to kick the windows out, but they're bulletproof in the Cybertruck. So he was like, I couldn't break the window. I couldn't get out. He said he was grabbing stuff, trying to break it, and he couldn't get out.
That's
and he
scary.
couldn't get out.
He's trapped.
And so Gilbert Arenas was like, I'm not putting my son in the Cybertruck no more. He was like, so I would caution y'all, if you're letting your kids drive a Cybertruck, like give them like a hammer or something, because if something go wrong, they can't get themselves out the car.
See, and that's like where like the boundary line gets drawn. Like, okay, where do we go from like a car being more than just a car and it becoming more like a robot or some indestructible like, space fucking mobile. But off topic real quick, did you see do you know what Untold is? Like the Untold series where did you see the Gilbert Arenas one about the gun with the gun?
I haven't watched it yet. It's on Netflix, right?
Shit, yes.
I've been locked out of my Netflix for a little bit. I'm probably gonna watch it tonight.
Out. He's burnt out. He's burnt. Just watch that shit. Anyways.
What'd he say?
It was... I didn't realize how much of like a jokester and like just an idiot he was, like, or is, but definitely was back then when he was damn near top of the world. But it just basically covered the entire story about, first it took both of their lives, right? And it's kind of good to see like that perspective, like why each of them act the way they do. You know what I mean? You have Gilbert, who was born and kind of, or lived, he wasn't born in California. I can't remember where he was, but when he moved to California, he was in more of like an affluent area.
He's from the Valley.
Right, more upscale neighborhood. And then, I don't even want to butcher dude's name, but his last name is Cringin, I think.
Javaris,
yes. He grew up literally the complete opposite, right? And from Atlanta, I'm quite sure.
Mm-hmm.
And it just went through both of their childhoods, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And gave you a perspective on the way they grew up and like why they kind of were morphed the way they were morphed. So it was basically, and when they met each other on the Wizards as
early 20s grown men, they were already morphed the way they were, and it gave you a inside perspective on like why they acted the way they act. And so it was basically two polar opposites clashing. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. And even at the point where Crinan said he was like, I'll smoke you, this motherfucker wanted to like joke about it and left guns on the table for him to do it with. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And like thinking it's a joke, laughing it. Maybe he was a little bit serious, like, well, motherfucker, do it then. But still, it's just like, it was crazy to see. So yeah, you should watch it.
You said it's on Netflix, right?
It's on Netflix, the Untold series.
I'm gonna check it out.
They just dropped another one about Brett Favre's piece of shit ass. But
yeah, I don't rock with Brett Favre, man.
Yeah, he's in there.
He a scumbag. And you know what's funny? As a kid, I was a big Brett Favre fan, bro. Like a bit, like I think
a lot of people were.
I just like how he was like. It just seemed like he was like just out there playing. It seemed like he was out there playing like backyard football, and I like that about him. Of course, they got plays they call in, but like the big moments, he was out there. It seemed like
it was like give Brett the ball and make it happen.
Let him make it happen. I like that about him. So like it's disappointing. It almost. I'm not gonna lie. It kind of felt like how I felt about I don't know if that's his real name, Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah.
When he was in not Gridiron Gang. What's the name of the movie? Don't tell me. I'm gonna think of it with Chris Rock and Adam Sandler. Oh man,
I don't even know.
The football movie with Nelly, Adam Sandler, Chris Rock.
That's not the Benchwarmers.
Nah, it's not Benchwarmers.
Waterboy?
Nah, it's not Waterboy. What's the name of that freaking movie? Oh, my little brother Derek gonna kill me. What's the name of this movie? I can't waste time thinking about it.
Hey, I gotta look it up now. It's gonna piss me off. It's not the Benchwarmers.
I gotta think before you look it up. My brother gonna kill me if you say it before. It's not Gridiron Gang.
Oh yeah.
When you find it, don't tell me when you find it.
Motherfuckers gonna be cooking us on this shit, right? They're gonna be like...
They screaming at the TV right now.
Drunk ass.
Oh, nah. I know they called the team the Meme Machine.
5, 4, 3, 2. The Longest Yard.
Oh, I'm tight.
Isn't that whack?
I wasn't gonna think of that. I wasn't gonna
Like,
think of that.
When I saw it, I was like, dude.
I wasn't gonna think of that. The Longest Yard. The longest. The Longest Yard. The longest. Now I forgot why I was thinking of that.
About Stone Cold.
Yeah. So when I seen Stone Cold in that movie, and he was like the prison guard,
Right.
and Nelly was the football player, and he seen him in the library, he called him the N-word and all that, and just like how it just seemed so natural and so easy for him to say. I was like, oh, hold on, Stone Cold Steve Austin.
That's how I felt about Leonardo when I watched Django.
Oh yeah.
I was like, ugh, I want to slap the taste out this motherfucker's mouth.
That's fair, because he did his thing. Have you seen the stories about like Jamie talking about that movie, like the making of that?
I've seen some interviews on.
And Jamie was saying how like when they first started shooting, Leonardo was like mad uncomfortable.
Okay, yeah.
Like they would do like the first few takes, and Leonardo was like, "Hey, you guys, I'm sorry." And he said it was like, Jamie said he was like, "Bro, just say the lines." He said, he said Samuel Jackson was like, "Motherfucker, say that."
Right.
It's a normal Tuesday. Just say it like da 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 da. So yeah, but that same vibe. Like when I seen Stone Cold like saying the N-word and just like being racist in that movie, it just seemed too natural. And I'm like, he's not an actor. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like for an actor to tap into that and bring it out, like I get that.
Right.
Steve Austin ain't an actor.
Right.
So for him to like say that and it seemed so natural, I was like, I don't know, bro.
Producers are hella messy for that.
I still rock with Stone Cold though. I do. I'm like, I'll give him a pass that he was acting.
You used to watch that shit?
Used to watch wrestling?
Yeah.
Oh, big time.
Oh, for real?
Big time. Yeah.
I never really got into it.
I was Me and my brothers, we used to order the pay-per-views and everything. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I was in.
I used to order the pay-per-views and watch them, but I really got into it too much.
I was into it. Stone Cold, and that's why I was so disappointed because Stone Cold was my favorite wrestler. Like even like over The Rock, I knew The Rock was the man. Like Dwayne The Rock Johnson, he was the man, and he was everybody's favorite. But I just liked Stone Cold because he was a badass, and he didn't have no friends. He didn't care about nobody. He was like, I'm doing me. Like I don't care. Like I rock with Stone Cold. So for him to be my favorite, and then see him in the movies doing that, and again he was acting.
Right.
He was acting.
So you hope.
Right. I was like, I don't know about Stone Cold after this, bruh. I don't know about Stone Cold after this.
That's crazy. I be thinking about that type of shit.
Let's see what we got next on here, man. Let me see. While you talking about people being offended, I guess I was offended by Stone Cold. While I'm talking about being offended, did you see Disney removed the song I don't know if it's called "I'll Make a Man Out of You," but I'll just say "Make a Man Out of You."
Like the most famous song in that movie.
From Mulan.
Mulan, yeah.
So if for people that haven't seen, the premise of Mulan is her, like, you know, in their China, whatever country over there wherever they live in over there.
Yeah.
And it's way back in the day. Y'all don't kill me. So back then, like the oldest or the strongest man in the family had to go to war. And in Mulan's family, it was just her mom, and her dad. And her dad was a war hero, but he was old and he couldn't fight no more. And she seen her dad trying to practice, and he fell over. He was too sick, he couldn't fight. So she's like, I'm gonna take my dad's armor and I'm gonna go in his place. And while he's out there, they don't know that she's a woman. Of course, this is a Disney movie. You can go look it up yourself. They don't know she's a woman, but they see that she's like that. This person that they think is a man is not up and is not strong enough. Is not doing the stuff that they need a soldier to do in war. And so while they're trying to coach him, but it's really a girl, but while they're trying to coach him up, they're like, I'm gonna make a man out of you. So it's like this whole like scene, they're like trying to toughen him up, and it's like the song is I'll Make a Man Out of You. It was probably my favorite.
I love Mulan.
Yeah,
that was my shit.
Me too. And that scene, and that probably is, maybe not that scene, but it's for, you know, all Disney movies are like a musical. It's music and everything.
Right.
That might have been my favorite song in the movie.
Yeah.
So for them first to not be there.
And then towards the end of the song, she started getting good at all the trainings that they were doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. On the one hand, I get it. On the one hand, I do get it, because it's like women go to the military too. Women fight in war. So it's like they should be able to be out there as a strong woman and fight in the war. So it's like, I don't need to make a man out of you. You could be just a strong woman and fight. So I do get that. But why does that have to be a thing? Why do people have to be so, it's a movie, like it's a kid's, like why do people have to be so offended by that?
Well, I'll tell you why. Okay. Because that's not realistic. That's not real. So, okay. 100% a woman can go into the military, be a successful participant in whatever route. There's so many different routes, right, in the military that you can go, different pathways you can go into, right? Let's just go like baseline, like just an example. Say we go to World War III, right? And say there's a grown-ass man, right? Average built man, been trained his whole life by these dudes in the Iranian militia, right? To just kill, to just literally murder somebody. You know what I mean? And they come face to face with a average woman from America, okay? Do you think that she's gonna stand a chance in a combat with this man? Obviously they got guns, but I'm just saying, like, theoretically, if they literally walked into each other's face and they were just like skinned, nothing, no weapons or anything, like I don't think anybody would disagree that the dude from Iran that's just in a whole different headspace is gonna annihilate that woman. You know what I mean? That's because when you're in war, right? That's a man's game. I'm sorry. It's a man's game. It's a man's war. It's been like that forever. When America first started going, they weren't even allowed, right? Women weren't even allowed to go because it's not, you shouldn't be having your women going in there. The people that damn, that's about to sound crazy. The people that, bear your children, the people that have, a certain, level, how do I explain this? A certain level of like physical ability. You know what I mean? You don't need to have them fighting other countries' grown ass men. That's just not realistic. It's like being out in a club and you know what I mean? A melee breaks out and you expect your homegirl to jump in with this 6'4" motherfucker just knocking heads off. That just doesn't make any sense.
That's a fair argument. I guess my counter argument to that would be, like, the first thing you said was like the average woman. I would argue that women that are going to war aren't the average woman.
That's a fair point.
You know what I mean? If they signed up to be in the military, they're not the average woman. And then if they're over there fighting, they're not the average woman.
I guess
if they like the training, I would argue what you said is absolutely true. Like, just strip everything away, no weapons, no, like, a man against a woman, the man is gonna win. I would say 98% of the time. There's some women that's out there that's trained to go, and they could take some men down. So it might be less than 98. I'm gonna just, I'm gonna stand up for my gender. The 98%. I would argue though that the women that have been trained in our military, that have been trained to go to war, I would argue that they're more equipped not to fight hand to hand, maybe even to fight hand to hand. Honestly,
I get you.
But I would argue that our women that are trained to go and fight in a war, that they would win against the men over there, just because of our military and the training that our military that receives over here.
Yeah, I think that back then they were that was like the most common thinking, like, a woman doesn't belong in war, and it's not because she's not capable. It's just that, like, you know what, we'll go handle this, y'all handle everything else. Because don't get it twisted, just because men are at war, that means women are doing literally everything else. Whether you're in the South and you own a farm, now your woman is doing everything on the farm that you were doing, whether that's pulling weeds, running tractors, anything that has to do with the agriculture, all while maintaining the house. So on some boss ass shit, they're doing boss ass shit. They just don't need to be out here fighting, shooting guns, killing motherfuckers. I think that's what, like, they were thinking back then. And obviously now as we progress into nowadays, it's something, it's a little different. But I don't want my sister, my, like, girl cousins out there fighting in the war. Like, nah, if there's men to do it, let them do it. Like, that's just what it is, bro. That doesn't mean that they can't do it. It's just that, like, if they don't need to, like, no, I don't want them to be doing that. I'm sorry. There's so much other shit that they could be doing to still help the cause. You know what I mean?
I feel it.
So I think that's why they made that song. It's like, okay, like, oh, you want to do a man's job? Well, we're gonna make a man out of you then. If that's what you want to do, you signed up for it. It's good. You could do it. Right. You're definitely capable. You're showing, but we're gonna make a man out of you then. You know what I mean? And she was doing hella man shit. Like, I can't remember why, but I always remember, like, she was like spitting loogies. Like, that was the thing she did in that movie. And it was like, whatever. And so I think that's why. But so to answer the question, all the way back to the question, yeah, people are hella sensitive. Like, be for real. Nobody's saying that you can't be in the military just because you're a woman. It's just like, you got to look at the bigger picture and think about why they were saying that. Like, come on.
You know what? I would agree with that. I definitely understand like why a woman would look at that and be like, "Nah, like what you mean make a man out of me?" I definitely get it, but I agree with you though. I agree with you though because it's like if you look at, it's not to say a woman can't do those things because I would never say that.
Right.
Again, it goes back to what I said when I opened this topic. I would never say a woman can't do those things, but I think most people would agree that the characteristics that it takes and the things that you need to do to go fight in a war, those are male characteristics.
Right.
Not to say that a woman can't embody them and also thrive in them. I would never say that a woman can't be like a sniper or a woman can't fight in a war or a woman can't run across the line and smoke and kill and fight a man from another country and win. Yeah. I'm not saying that a woman can't do those things, but I'm saying a woman that has the characteristics to do, ooh, that sounds crazy. Most, like, the things that you, like, the characteristics that are needed to go and fight a war, most people, that's the best way to say it. The characteristics that are needed to go fight in a war, most people would say are male characteristics.
Right.
I would say to the people that are offended by that, it wasn't a period piece, but that movie was set like in a certain country
right.
at a certain time.
Right.
And in that country at that time, women didn't fight in the war.
Mm.
So
especially
when they
in that country, no, they
right,
literally like
and they weren't looking at a woman. They didn't know that Mulan was a girl. They were looking at someone that they thought was a man that wasn't up to what they thought a man should be to fight in the war. They like, bro, you not.
Well, because they had a standard. Like, if you wanted to go fight and defend this country, we need top caliber people, and you're gonna either meet the standard or you're not. We're either gonna make it out of you or not. Like, that's how they were viewing it. Yeah, that's a great point.
And again, we're in a super sensitive time. I was about to say in our country, but just in the world, really. We're in a super sensitive time, and I was like, that's a bit much, bruh. Like, and maybe I got like more like attachment to him because, like you said, like Mulan is one of my favorite Disney movies. Same. Mulan is one of my favorite Disney movies. And I'm like, you changing it now?
And that's one of the more, let me think. Yeah, I'd say that's probably one of the more like popular songs in the movie. Yeah. So now you just stripped the movie from like one of its literally most like memorized songs. And it's like
that was one of the ones. That song like I don't know what the title of it is, but I'll Make a Man Out of You. Yeah. That was one of the songs like as a kid because that was one of the movies I watched as a kid. That was one of the songs that me and my brothers would sing.
It was like resonate. Yeah.
Yeah. Like
you know what Disney. Sorry, were you done?
No, go ahead.
All right. You know what Disney movie I loved? Did you ever watch Fox and the Hound?
Yes.
That was my shit. That was, my mom will tell you, that was my favorite Disney movie. I loved that movie. Like, the way that old white lady ran, like, just held it down for that fox. Like, she was ready to go to war with that old dude. And then they became friends. Like, that was my movie.
Okay, let's do it. Let's do, if you can't do 5, then we'll do top 3. Top 5 Disney movies.
That's easy. No order. I'm not going to do no order.
No order.
Fox and the Hound.
Okay.
Jungle Book, Aristocats. Do I put Mulan in there? I've got to be, for real, Mulan is one of my favorite movies. Do I? Disney movies. I'd probably put Mulan in there. Yeah, Mulan, 100%.
That's 4.
And then my 5th, I would have to give it to, I'll give it to The Lion King.
Okay.
It's a classic. Lion King's a classic.
Lion King got 5 on the top 5. Okay.
Yeah, I would. That's not necessarily an order, but Lion King probably would be 5th though. To say it would be 5th.
Yeah, you did say no order. You did not. I shouldn't have said that. You did say no order.
Yeah, because honestly, Aristocats was my shit. You know what? Damn, I'm so sorry. I'll retract. I'm gonna take Lion King out. Lion King is like 6 though.
Okay.
I'm gonna put Lady and the Tramp.
Wow. Okay.
That's Disney, right? Yeah. I'm quite sure. Yeah. I'll put Lady and the Tramp. That was my shit. Lion King is right there though. I honestly, probably because I watched it so much, maybe I'm kind of like over it. They used to always put that on when I would go to my daycare. They would always, I remember like vividly, they'd always put the fucking Lion King on. But yeah, Fox and the Hound and Aristocats, those are my top 2. I love those 2 movies.
Let me see my top 5. My top 5 Disney movies, and again in no order. But Lion King is definitely in the top 5. Let me see, Lion King, Aladdin. Toy Story 2. Oh, no, I'm sorry. The first Toy Story. I messed that up. What'd I say? Lion King, Aladdin, Toy Story, Mulan. Fifth Disney movie. Prince of Egypt. The Prince of Egypt. The Prince of Egypt is fire. The Prince of Egypt is fire, bruh. And I mean, again, I've been talking on the podcast for a few weeks about how, like, my Christian walk, I've been trying to pray more and read my Bible more. It's not just because of that. I mean, I've grown up in the church, so maybe that it does play a role. But yeah, Prince of Egypt for sure.
There's a lot of great Disney movies.
There are.
Okay, you know what? Since we're on this topic, I had a homegirl send me this TikTok, and it was basically, I don't know if you've seen it, but like, okay, so say we're saying favorite rappers, or not even favorite rappers, but I give you two rappers, and I tell you, DMX or Jadakiss, and then you choose one. So who would you choose?
Between DMX and Jadakiss?
Right.
Jadakiss.
Jadakiss or Jay-Z?
Jay-Z.
Jay-Z or Big?
Jay-Z.
You see how it goes? You see what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So they were doing black movies.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm just gonna name 10, and we'll see who you say is your favorite.
Yeah, I love it.
Okay. I'm gonna start off on the not so popular. Okay. Jason's Lyric or Love Jones?
Love Jones.
Okay. Love Jones or, that's two. I don't want to be here all night. Love Jones or Booty Call?
Love Jones.
Love Jones or Men's Society?
Menace to Society.
Okay, Menace to Society or Training Day?
That's a good one.
Breathe on them.
Menace or Training Day? Oh, man, why you do that to me, Trev?
That's the beginning.
Menace or Training Day? That's a hard one. Menace or Training Day? Training Day.
Okay, damn. Training Day or American Gangster? We'll go Denzel. American Gangster goes crazy.
I like how you're doing this, Trev. Training Day or American Gangster?
Yes, sir.
Training Day.
Training Day or Paid in Full?
Training Day or Men in Full, Paid in Full? Training Day.
Wow. Okay. Training Day or Boys in the Hood?
Boys in the Hood.
Boys in the Hood or Set It Off?
Boys in the Hood.
Boys in the Hood or Poetic Justice?
Boys in the Hood.
Okay, we'll go Boys in the Hood.
Okay. So that's my favorite hood movie? Is that how we doing that?
I didn't name I could have named a lot more, but damn near, which is a great choice.
I wish I was prepared for that. I want to do one for you. I want to do one.
Yeah, we could do it. We could do it another time.
Yeah.
I'll tell you though, Paid in Full. I would say that over everything. That's one of my favorite movies ever. And then, if we're just doing hood movies, like black cinemas, Poetic Justice, way up there. I love Poetic Justice. Jenny is so damn fine in that movie. Mm-hmm. She's fine as fuck. And I like how they have her song playing in the background the whole fucking movie.
Mm-hmm. We had a whole debate up here about Poetic Justice.
For real?
When I had my old co-host here.
Refresh me.
Because we was talking about, it wasn't really so much about Poetic Justice. We were talking about how, we were talking about, I don't remember exactly how the conversation came up. But we ended up talking about, I think I brought up Poetic Justice. I was telling the story how about me and my brother were at one of my homegirls' house when we lived in the Southeast, and we were watching Poetic Justice. And my parents came to pick us up. And it was a movie my parents would have never put on the TV in our house. Right. And my parents, when my mom came to pick us up, she was like, why was I watching that movie and this, that, and the third? And so basically we were just talking about how I was saying how my mom was correct, and it's like y'all are too young to be watching that movie. And I guess I won't.
Especially the beginning.
I guess I won't say his name. My former co-host that used to sit right here. He was saying how like nah, like if my kid, if I'm watching Poetic Justice and my kids come in the room, I'm still watching Poetic Justice. And I was like, they curse a lot in that movie. They have sex in that movie.
A motherfucker gets his head blown off.
Yeah, I'm like,
in the beginning.
I'm like, there's a lot going on in that movie that I want my kids to see. And after rewatching it a few times, I don't want to make this all about, you know what I mean? But after rewatching it a few times, I was telling him how, like, he was saying, he was like, the movie isn't about sex. The movie isn't about, I was like, yeah, it's not about that. It is about friendship and the whole, that is what the movie's about. I would never deny that. But there are certain elements in the movie that I would never want my kids to see. So I would never watch this movie with my kids in the room. If I'm watching this movie, my kids come in there, I'll be like, yo, I gotta go back in your room.
100%.
You know what I mean? So,
especially that scene where Pac and Janet get into it bad when he kicks her out, and they was going at it like bad. That shit is triggering, for one. So why the fuck would I want my kids to see that and think that that's, and it's not necessarily saying that it's normal, but like they're kids, they're hella like, you know, they pick up on things, you know what I mean? And they don't know, if I don't tell them, they might think like that's normal. You know what I mean? So why would I want them to see that scene right there plays like a big, that shit is like what I think about when I think of Poetic Justice, low key. And it's like I would not want my kids to see that and think that's how a man and a woman that are supposed to, and I know they're not in love in the movie at that point, maybe getting to that thing close to it, but how a man and a woman are supposed to interact. They was talking crazy. They was talking greasy to each other.
and I wasn't even talking about that. I was just talking about like the cursing and the sex.
Yeah. Well, that too, obviously, yeah. But like you said, there was hella elements to it that are not okay.
I was a kid that, and like this would be a quick thing. I was a kid that like what I watched on TV, I wanted to go outside and do.
Right.
Straight like that.
Right.
When my dad took me and my brothers to go watch The Sixth Man with Marlon Wayans and Kadeem Harrison, as soon as we got home, and it was late, it was dark out already, and in my house it was like once it's dark we inside. It was dark when we got home. Me and my brothers was like, Pop, we want to go outside and hoop,
right?
Because we just got done watching The Sixth Man. When I got done watching House Party, I wanted to go out party and dance with some girls, nigga. Right. Like that's the type of kid I was. Like if I saw something on TV that like Fresh Prince was my favorite show. Right. Fresh Prince was my favorite show. I saw Will Smith on the show, had all the pretty girls. When I went to school, I wanted all the pretty girls. Right. I wanted to be a basketball star. Like I was the type of kid, and maybe everybody wasn't like that. Maybe everybody, well, I was though.
A lot of kids were like that. You're impressionable when you're younger. You know what I mean?
And for me, it was very much impressionable. Yeah. But maybe because of the house I grew up in, I didn't want to copy everything. Right. Like if I watched a movie where a nigga was like selling drugs and cussing, I didn't want to do that. Honestly, just call me a goody, call me a church boy, whatever. I didn't want to do those things. The stuff that I thought was cool. I thought like Will's on the Fresh Prince, he was a basketball star. He got all the girls. I wanted to go and do that.
Have you ever went to a girl's phone? Is that out of pocket to ask?
It's not out of pocket.
Okay. Sorry.
I have. And I'm not proud of it. And I'm not proud of it. I have. And I never will again.
Because did you find what you was looking for?
Not because of what I found. And not because of what I found.
But did you find what you was looking for, though? Was it all bad? Were you not happy with what you found?
I wasn't happy with what I found. I've gone through a phone and I wasn't happy with what I found. That's happened to me before. And I'm not proud that I've gone through somebody's phone. I'll never do it again. Like you should never do that. You should never do that. Like people's phone, that's like your whole life is in your phone. Right. Like you got your bank is linked to like your bank account, like everything. Everything is in your phone. Like that's a big violation. And I'm not saying I went through anybody's bank account. I never.
No, I get you. Yeah, but everything's. I get you.
Like like just the point of going through somebody's phone because everything is in there. Yeah, that's a violation. I have gone through a phone before, and I'm not proud.
A phone, singular.
One.
And that was enough.
That was enough.
It's like the first time motherfucker goes to jail, they never go back.
I'll never do it again. Okay. I'll never do it again. And not because of what I found, because of how I felt going through a phone. Right. That's a violation, bruh. Like, you don't do that.
Right. And you wouldn't like it if it was done to you either.
Right. Have you ever gone through a phone?
Yeah. And you want to know what makes it even worse?
I was about to shake your hand, but I shouldn't. We're not going to shake hands on that. We can't shake hands on that.
What makes it even worse is I'm tricking This was my chick though. This was my. Well, I thought. God damn. Gosh damn. Sorry. This was my chick. We were together for a while. Not for a while, but like a year. And I'm taking her to Hawaii for her birthday. And we're out there on a trip. And we get loaded one night. And we're in there. And I just had some feeling, to be honest. I just had some feeling. And I just went straight to the Instagram DMs. Because she was an Instagram girl. So she was hella popular on Instagram. So I knew that if I was going to find anything quickly, it was going to be on Instagram. Because she only followed like 300 people. So the DMs was going to be hella light. You know what I mean? The request is going to be thick. The actual conversations was going to be light. You know what I mean?
Right.
And there was nothing there. I'm like, damn, she really honed it down. Then finally I seen one. Boop, beep. I said, oh.
You said boop beep.
Interesting. Granted, it was some months ago. We were still together, but it was some months ago. She hadn't done anything unless she deleted them. But yeah, I seen them. And when I seen it, I was kind of just like, whatever. That's because I was doing wrong, though. That's a whole situation. But, yeah, that was the one time I went through a phone, and I was just like, oh, fuck. It is what it is. You found what you was looking for. You happy? You found what you was looking for. But, yeah, it's all good. Still had a great trip.
When I went through the phone, like, for me, it was like, nope, I'm good right there. I'm not gonna say no more. I'm not gonna say no more. I'm not gonna say no more.
It's all good.
I'm not gonna say no more.
It's all good.
We didn't even talk about the show yet, huh?
Nah.
We didn't talk about Love Island yet, huh? I've been watching it. They got an audition coming up in San Diego pretty soon. You finna go?
No.
No?
So many people been telling me to. I'm not even trying to like too much.
That's why I asked, because I've seen people been asking.
Hella people been telling me to go, bro, and it's just like that's not my thing. I'm not gonna lie, I be watching that shit. It's funny as hell. It's entertaining. It's a little freak of league. You feel me? But it's just like it's not necessarily my style. But I do be watching it. I do think that this season is like kind of like it's crazy, but I'm not happy with how it's going, especially with Jeremiah getting voted off. You feel me? That was my guy. I think a lot of motherfuckers in there hating. I think Ace is a buster, a first-class buster.
I was about to speak to that. He was like, oh, he's doing it. He's like locking in with every girl and
He's
da-da-da.
a buster. So
that's
like,
it. He whacked for that.
As a grown-ass man, how are you so concerned with what another man is doing, how he's running his program? Like, he came in here.
Yes.
He got
initially.
Yes. Okay? Just
talk about it. Talk about it, bro.
Just based off looks, he knocked one of the better ones in there. She ended up being batshit crazy, but he knocked one of the better ones in there.
You talking about, what was it, OSHA, what's her name?
Huda. She chose up. You know, in addition, she chose up.
I said OSHA.
For one. I feel you. I knew you was going. In addition, she chose up. You know what I mean? So I know that even made him even more, you know, feel some type of way. You know what I mean? And, they was locked in. They had a good thing going. It's like there's no point in really exploring something else if like you're locked in. And he did do his little thing where, but he chose up too. And that's what it is. Like, how could you be mad at that? Last year, Leah did the same thing. Leah was with Rob the whole time, and then one bombshell came in and she chose up with the bombshells with him the whole time. Two different people the entire season. You know what I mean? That's basically the trajectory that he might have been on.
One of the reasons why Huda I did abnormally kind of crazy, super crash out mode was because third, fourth day, Jeremiah dropped hand pocket her, right? And so that obviously is going to bring out a whole different wave of emotions. That's just how it works. It is what it is. So to piggyback off that, when is it okay? Or let me ask this: is it okay to have sex with a girl the first night, then you think it can go further than just like, you know, hookup buddies or whatever. Like if you see a girl, you're like, you know, off the rip, you're like, damn, okay, like I'm already planning second, third, fourth, and fifth date with this girl, and it's the first time you met her. I'm already planning second, third, fourth, fifth date with this girl. You know, do you have sex with her first night, or do you control yourself because you know that if you do that, that's gonna open up a wave of emotions and like feelings that like don't need to necessarily be opened just yet. Like that needs to wait for a little bit.
So it's about I was about to say, I think you should wait off the rip. I think you should wait just because opening that door, like having sex so early, it because sex is an intimate thing.
Right.
Even if a lot of people don't, and respectfully, like even if a lot of people don't like view it as that, and especially if a lot of men don't, and there's some women that don't. Let me not put on there. If some people don't view it as like such like a serious or intimate thing, it is. It is. Whether men or women try to say it's not, it is. And so, I would say you should wait because you just never know. Like this girl might be able to just compartmentalize and be like, yeah, that's where the energy went, and that's just what it is. And we had sex that night, and we did have sex that night, but I could put that to the side and keep building this and that third. But not everybody's able to do that, and not even some men aren't able to do that.
100%.
Some men are like what you mean? Like you like what?
You
Like,
gave the cookie up. I thought we was together. I thought we was like
yeah. And that's something that a lot of men don't like to speak to. Like a lot of men don't like to speak to that.
Right. They don't
Like,
want
a lot of men act like it's just the women that like because like after they gave up the draws, it's like they were like a lot of men act like because this girl had sex with you, she's supposed to be tied to you, or she's supposed to have some allegiance to you, or she's supposed to be rocking with you. Like, bro, just the way you can go outside and get your rocks off and move aside, women can do the same.
Right.
So
and they do.
And they do. And they do. And respect to them.
Right.
But just to answer the question,
You think you should wait?
I think you should wait. I think you should wait. Just so everything is safe. Just so everything is safe. Like, and to answer the question that you asked, like, you already planning the second and third date with this girl. You already like her. You're not ready to lock in. But if you already planning the second and third date, you already having some other plans with this girl. So I would say, based on that, if you having those thoughts, then don't do it. Because the first thing, I was about to speak to the women's side first, but let me be fair. Men do that. Men feel like because the girl had sex with you, she's supposed to be rocking with you, she's supposed to have some allegiance to you. It's like, oh, you gave me the draws, and like what you look like giving this nigga the draws. Just the same way we have sex with no attachment and go and touch the next girl, women are able to do that too, and they do that. Right. And they do it. So for you to get your feelings about it, you would be whatever adjectives or nouns or verbs you attribute to the woman that getting their feelings, you gotta attach that to you now, bro.
You just say
you gotta attach that to you now, bro. You grown just like she is. You can do what you want just like she can.
right.
So let me say that first. But I'm not. If I like the girl, if I see a future, if I want to like really lock in, I'm not gonna have sex.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna have sex just because of the things I said, and also I'm different already. Like I don't want to say I do like to be different, but I'm different already. Like I come different than most men do. Like I've been made fun of on this show because of that. Like I treat women like any woman that's sharing time with me, I'm treating her like a princess.
Right.
Like I'm doing
That's good, yeah.
You know what I mean? And so like yeah, bro. And that's another reason why
I have something to do with it.
That's another reason why I have to move slow too. Because I've been accused of, I don't want to say like love bombing, but like leading women on.
Right. But that's really just you for real.
But that's just who I am.
Yeah.
I've been like, because when a woman is out with me, you're not touching no doors, you're not touching no chairs. Like I'm taking like, and again, I'm not trying to big myself up. This is how I move.
It's real though.
I feel like this is how every man is supposed to move.
Right.
But because I'm with men all day, I'm not trying to throw off on men. Because a lot of men don't move that way, the bar is in hell for women.
Right.
The bar is way down here. And so when they share time with me,
A little bit of chivalry, they get scared down here. And they're like, what the hell is wrong with this dude?
well, no, not even get scared. And, well, maybe that's been your experience. But in my experience, it's been like, men don't treat me like this.
Right.
So it's like
They're not used to it.
you treat me like this. That means you really like me. You really, and I do like
That's
you.
insane.
I do like you because we sharing time, but I'm treating you the way I treat everyone. And what I'm saying is, because the bar is in hell, because most women don't get treated like that when they out. I think that's how any man should treat a woman.
Right. You think it's normal?
That's normal.
Yeah.
But because that's not how women get treated when they come out with me, and especially if it's more than one date. If we go on 3 or 4 dates, and you never touch your door, you never touch your chair, you never pay for anything. Your back is to the door. I'm sitting facing the like women that come out with me never have no worries, and I feel like that's how every man should treat them. And I'm not putting myself on a pedestal. I'm saying that's how every man should behave. But because every man doesn't behave that way, when women come out with me, it seems like some like extra like up and beyond or like beyond the pale.
Damn near like a gimmick almost.
Yeah.
They think.
Or and yes, a gimmick, or like they feel like I'm treating them more than someone else would be treated.
Right.
When it's like, no, shorty.
I just
Like, yeah, you are special because every woman is special. But the treatment that I'm giving you isn't special for me.
That's how it is.
It's how I treat everybody.
Yeah.
But because every man doesn't treat you this way, it feels special.
Because most men don't treat you this way.
Right.
Yeah, I get you.
And so for like more often than not, when women come out with me, it feels like this ultra special treatment, which on some ways I feel dope about because like I'm showing you something you've never shown, but you've never experienced before. But that shouldn't be the case though. And again, I'm not trying to pump myself up. I'm not. That's not what I'm trying to do here. That's not what I'm trying to do here. But what I'm saying is, I treat women the way women are supposed to be treated.
Right.
And if all their dates before that, they haven't been treated that way, when they come out with me, they feel ultra special. And so, and also I'm a handsome nigga. Like I'm kind of flawed. Like I got a name out here in San Diego. And so when you attach, how do I want to say that? When a woman hasn't been treated that way, the way I feel every woman should be treated, and then I treat them that way, and then because I have a name here in the city, so that makes it even more. It's like, oh, Michael Flicks treated me like this. No, da 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 da. It's like, no, every man should treat you like this.
Right.
But just that you happen to bump into me, and I have a name, and I'm treating you like this, it feels like something more.
Yeah.
But like, no, no matter what man you go out with, he should treat you this way. So that's what I've been bumping into.
Yeah.
That's what I've been bumping into. And it's like, I honestly don't like it. I don't like it. And I don't, you know what I mean? I've been wanting to come on a podcast and say that for a little bit, but I also don't want to like, I don't want to put myself, I shouldn't be on a pedestal. Like, I'm not trying to put myself on a pedestal. And again, this is how every man should treat a woman.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, you know,
That makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah.
That's a sticky situation. It can get sticky,
yeah.
I guess you could say. And it could kind of be a disadvantage for you sometimes. Because some girls, like I said, might take it like your love bomb and then might kind of throw them off a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But it's really not. It's just genuine. That's just how I am.
Mm-hmm.
I feel you on that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And to that point, and I'm glad you said that because that was another one I was saying. I've only one woman. I've had to I was like, am I? Because I have ADHD, and like so part of like having ADHD is like you got hyper focused. I don't know if you know like that. What it means. Like,
I don't know what that means, but yeah, I know.
Right.
Yeah, about that.
And so like with that, like when you have ADHD, like you could I could like when I got involved in like photography and like camera work and stuff, that could have been a hyper focus for me. It was something that I loved. So I could have like hyper focused on photography and cameras for 8 months and bought all these cameras and all these lenses and learned all this stuff about it. And then after 8 months, be like, I don't even really like photography.
Right.
And then moved on to piano or moved on to something else. You know what I mean? But also with that, you could also hyper focus on people.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a real thing. And like the research that I've done, people have done that. People with ADHD have they met someone, it's like, this girl is mad pretty, She's not, and you know what I'm saying? I mean, men and women have done it. I mean, let's put it on men. But like, even if this person is mad attractive, they're mad fly, our chemistry is good, I like this person. We rocking out for as long as we rocking out. And after that time is done, it's like, all right, that was fun.
Right.
And it's not a conscious thing. It's just people with ADHD, we hyper focus on things. And I'm saying that to say, I've had to catch myself in that. Like there was, I don't want to say this. There was one girl that I was like, I had to, like, don't want to speak on this? I'll speak on it if I don't want to just cut it down. There was like one girl I was like rocking with, and like after a couple months, I was like, I really think I really feel the same.
Yeah, it wasn't what you thought it was.
You know what I mean? But also to that point, that same girl, I'm gonna be all the way funky. I'm saying a lot on camera right now, but that same girl was like, I thought I hyper focused on her.
Right.
I took a break away, and I was like, I do like this girl. I do like her. You know, so I'm a, you know what I mean? So that is something I've had to be careful with. That's something I have to be careful with.
That makes sense.
And yeah, and also I did not. I've had ADHD. I believe I've had ADHD my whole life, but I just didn't realize it until maybe 3 years ago. And so and I've only been single for 3 years. So that's been something I've thought about. I don't think I think people with ADHD, it would be easy for us to love bomb people because we can hyper focus on people. I don't think I've done it though. I don't think I've loved. I know for a fact, actually. I know for a fact I've never loved bombed anyone. But there was one girl that I was like, oh dang, because after a moment, it was like I did kind of get cool on her for a little bit, but that's because I think space and time had happened. I was like, oh, damn, cool.
Yeah.
Damn, cool. And after some time and space had happened, then we started hanging out again. It was like, oh, it's not hyper focus. I actually like this girl.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I'm saying a lot on camera right now. But yeah, it's. Yeah.
I get you.
Yeah.
Talking shit, twin.
I mean, hey, I appreciate you sliding me.
Man, it's fun.
I appreciate it.
All
I
good.
appreciate you, man. I think we got maybe one more topic and then we're going to get out of here. Maybe not even one more. Let me see. Well, we ever talking about how long it take you to cut off your roster?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. We got Tyler Perry. We did the cruise thing. Tyler Perry. I think all we got left is Tyler Perry.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What you want to say about the Tyler Perry situation?
So
Tyler, so Tyler Perry, everybody knows Tyler Perry. He's got the plays before he hit it big with the movies. He turned his plays into movies, and at this point, he's a billionaire, owns his own
island in Bahamas.
you know what I'm saying, his own lot to produce and everything. And Tyler Perry, the man. Tyler Perry's the man. He's a man. But just recently, he's
had some allegations.
Had some allegations
brought
against
into light.
Sexual abuse. I won't even get into it because I don't know all the allegations. But
On a man.
Tyler Perry's got some allegations against him.
On a man.
So that's what he's exactly.
Which I'm not saying anything, but on a man. But it's not. Now, how do I word this? It's ironic, I guess you could say, that his kind of claim to mainstream fame was a character that he played that was him cross-dressing as a woman. And there was all these different speculations about, why he always does it. He didn't do it just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. It's about 20 plus movies of Madea, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where he's dressed like that. So it's just like a trick that all these different conspiracies were made up about him, you know what I mean? About why he does that, this, and the other, and then all of a sudden these allegations come of him, which supposedly there's evidence, there's hard, concrete evidence of him texting this man, this type of stuff. It might be obviously the vulgar details, but him texting this man, this, that, and the third, and was sexually, assaulting him or whatever. So that's just a trick, but it's just crazy how it's just constant now. It seems that all these elite people in society are always being like accused of, sexually assaulting people, whether that's kids, women, men, whatever. They're just assaulting people. It's just like, damn. At some point, do you get like so bored and so rich that you feel like you are like, for one, have nothing else better to do, or like you done did everything that you could think of, and you need some other like high or something, or for two, you just think you're like that elite and that invincible that you can just literally violate somebody to the worst degree. It's just like, damn, it's just crazy. I don't even know how to like grasp it.
Me neither, bro. Like, I was trying to find the words. I'll never be okay with that, bro. Like,
Right. No, 100%.
I'll never be okay with that. Just like, nah. Like, violating people, nah. That's never gonna be cool.
Yeah.
That's never gonna be cool. Like, them, I'm not cool with them type of niggas. I don't associate with them types. It's like, nah, you gotta get consent, bro. Like,
Yeah.
and that's just what it is. Like,
Especially, it's just like obviously at all levels, but it's just like I feel like these people do it because they feel like they're like entitled to it, or like they're like able to get away with it or something. You know what I mean? And a lot of them do for a very long time. And a lot of them do forever. But I'm glad to see that like a lot of them are being held accountable now. You know what I mean? You got to take everything with a grain of salt nowadays. You know what I mean? Not all this shit is real. You know what I mean? Just being honest. Like, I don't know if you follow baseball, but I don't even want to bring it up because I don't know. I think it was Trevor Bauer. The girl literally lied. Like, she literally got convicted for lying, but the Dodgers let him go because they just couldn't have that pub around them. And he's like, I did not do this. She's literally lying on my name. So, there's always those cases. I mean, his baseball career is over now. He's playing, like, in China or something. Even though she got literally found guilty of not... He might be back in the major, actually. But for years, he was gone because she lied and she got convicted of lying. But more often than not, it's real. And these people are doing, like, heinous things. And it's just like, damn, bro. That's not... I do not want to be famous if that's what it makes people do. I would never do that. But you feel me? Like... It's just not a good look.
I hear you, because it's like, it almost makes you think like, maybe not so much, because it's like there's so many like famous people that ain't involved in that, but it almost makes you think like, how much of that will you be involved with, will you have to be involved with, and how much of it will you have to be encountered on your road to like being famous or being like ultra successful, you know what I mean?
Right.
It's like, is it unavoidable?
Right. It's inevitable, right?
Right. You think about like the people that like, you hear like the young actors or the young people that bump into Denzel, and then like Denzel's something like, yo, you go to that party, but leave like 30 minutes, like leave soon enough before you get to the crazy part. You know what I mean? So it's like when you hear stuff like that, it's like, is it inevitable? Like, is it always there? Like, I'm not saying like inevitable to where like you have to partake.
No,
like
inevitable witness it, yeah.
Right, to inevitable so far as like you're gonna encounter some things, you're gonna endure some things that you have to either blow the whistle on or be silent about.
Exactly. Because at that point, it's like, okay, like how strong is your moral compass? Like,
Mm-hmm.
do you act on this because you know it's not right, or do you say like, man, my career is more important. I have a family to provide for. I want to make it to this level. Let me just be quiet and just totally ignore the like tragedy that this person or these people just went through. That's a fucked up decision to make.
Yeah, and then also like, if you were never involved and it has nothing to do with you, it makes it that much easier to be like, hey, well, listen, if I talk about that, it's going to derail what I got going on. So let me just stay on my path. And you, in a lot of ways, you can't even be mad at the people that take that stance because it's like, that's not my business. It's not my job to blow the whistle on that. Like, yeah, that's wrong. I'm not
There's an asterisk next to that though. There's an asterisk because like, yeah, it didn't directly include you and it didn't directly affect you, but you seen it. You could have did something. You know what I mean? Like, it's like that song "In the Air Tonight" by Phil Collins, right? Where he talks about the dude that's watched the dude drown.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, that's not my homie. I don't know him. I do not know the dude that's his friend. I don't know any of these people. They got to figure it out. But what if the dude died? You know what I mean? Then, like, would you feel bad if you didn't try to help jump in and save him? Like, it's kind of like that. It's like, okay, well, these people are, like, being harmed in front of you for real, for real. It's like, you know, like, if we go to the taco shop right now and we see a dude beating the shit out of a girl. That don't got shit to do with us. A lot of motherfuckers going to turn their head and walk away. But, like, as a grown-ass man, would you be okay leaving and then not knowing what happens to that girl? You know, even if it's just for the moment. Like, you know, because maybe she goes back home or like whatever the situation is. But it's like, I don't know. Those are always sticky situations. And me being me, I know that I would leave and think about that shit forever. So it's like, no, I gotta act on it.
Mm-hmm.
And however it's gonna go, it's gonna go. We're gonna play ball however it's gonna go. So.
Even if that means to the detriment of your career. Because like
especially nowadays, I don't think it'll really be detrimental to a lot of people's career. But then, like, now it's like the real, like, speak up, like.
Okay, well, let's look about it. Let's look at it in that time. Then. So if I'm, and I'm not saying any of these people knew anything specific. To be clear, because I find them blow up one day. I don't know how to come at me.
Right.
So let's say, like, if you're, you know, Busta Rhymes or Nelly. I'm trying to think of, like, people that have been, like, featured on songs with him, but ain't been, like, closely tied to him.
Right.
So if you're like Busta Rhymes or Nelly, or you've like been on a song with him, or you might have been at an after party, or you might have been around some other thing. You're not his friend. You're not Diddy's friend, but you've been around and you've seen some things. And it's like if I've been featured on a song with him that went #1, that brought me $3 million, and he produced it. He produced this record. He's the I don't want to say the sole reason, but he's one of the major contributors to the reason why I got $3 million in my account.
Yeah, I get that.
And now I'm at his after party, and I see him do something crazy. Am I going to say something because I know this is wrong? Or do I leave everything alone because I'm not involved? It doesn't harm me, and I didn't harm anyone. And my life is, I'm a good person.
Right.
I'm a good person. I haven't harmed anyone, so my good life is gonna continue on the trajectory that it's at. But I know he's over here doing this crazy stuff. Do I say something and blow the whistle and mess up what he's got going on and also bring harm to my life and my family and everything I got going on? Or do I just keep my mouth shut and wait for whoever's gonna deal with him to deal with him and just keep moving forward?
I think you come to a crossroad, you gotta make a decision. It's like, you know what I mean? You either, you know, stand for something or fall for anything at that point. So it's like, you know what I mean? If you, you know what I mean? Don't feel like, or if you put in that situation, you feel like you know what I mean? Whole life is gonna come to an end or something. Then that's a lot to think about. But I don't think that, like, obviously I've never been in that situation. Just like being an artist or whatever and have this dude like. He's the reason why I have a little bit of money, but it's like, or a lot of money. I don't think I could go out like that though. I just don't think that my moral compass would allow me to do that. I feel like I would have to, maybe not even go like to the pub, but at least get at bro. Like, hey, homie, that's it. Like, I can't. Like, no.
You're speaking exactly what I was about to say. I don't know if I go and like blow the whistle. Honestly, I'm not sure. I know the way my makeup and the way I'm built, I'm telling everybody that I know and that I love and that I care about, yo, stay away from that.
Yeah.
And I'm also not doing business with them.
Right.
That's my thing. Because it's somebody, yeah, I can say it without saying his name. It's somebody here in town right now that makes a lot of money, that, I'll just stop it right there. Makes a lot of money, does things here in the city, and
He got that jacket.
he got some real smut on his name. Like some legit smut on his name. And it's a lot of people that still stand next to him.
Right.
I'm saying like smut as far as like women go.
Right. I get you.
I think you know what I'm talking about. And it's a lot of people that still stand next to him. And I just can't respect them people anymore, bro.
Right.
And it's I'm trying to choose my words here without like. It's a couple people that like stand next to him that I like have a lot of respect for. And if you're not sure what I'm talking about, I'll tell you off camera. But it's at least 3 people that still stand next to him that I'm like, bro, with what he's like, the smut that he got on his name and what's alleged against him, it's like from some people here in the city that we don't respect, that we know they not lying.
Right. Yeah,
And
at that point,
you still choose to stand next to him?
yeah, at that point, you know what I mean? It's like, you tell me who your friends are, I'll tell me who you are. You know what I mean? It's like,
Exactly.
I can't even rock with you. I can't be associated with that, but yeah, man, all that shit, bro. I just hope that, you feel me, everybody involved in all sides, to be honest, all sides, even motherfuckers a demon, but find the peace that they're looking for, because it's a fucked up situation. You know what I mean? And I'm not going out like it, but, you know, it is what it is.